Okay, so again, I know the solutions are up, but I'm still gonna go over these two plus an extra one, just to ensure that you guys are understanding what to do. So when we're talking about surface area, what we're talking about is pretty much like a shell of something, right? Like when you think of a cardboard box, it would be the outside of the box. So like laying paper over top of that. So it's like if you break something down, you almost get a net of it. So like our shell of it. So if we're talking about finding surface area of these two figures, right? What I have written down is that you would take steps. I'm really, really big on steps if you guys have not noticed. So my step one would be to write my equation down for the following figure, right? So for this figure right here, our surface area equation is 2, and then make sure you put everything in brackets. So length times width plus width times height plus length times height, bracket. And what you can do is you can even put these little things in brackets too if you'd like, right? Because multiplication always comes before addition. And then I'm going to put in on the side what my length is, what my width is, and what my height is. Right, so I have my length as my 9 inches. My width, how wide this is 13 inches. And my height is 3 inches. And then I am going to take all of my information, right? So this was step 1, this was step 2, and then step 3, I'm just gonna grab a different color. Step 3 is to plug everything in. So I have surface area equals 2, and then bracket, so my length, my 9 times my 13, plus my width, so my 13 times my height, my 3, plus, throw my plus in there, my length, so my 9 times my 3, and I put all of that in a bracket as well. And then so what I do is I rewrite the 2, and what you can do is you can actually put this in your calculator like this, or you can do each section on its own. So if we took each section on its own, I would do, let me grab my calculator over here. So I would do my 9 times 13 is going to give me 117 plus 13 times 3. So 13 times 3 is going to give me 39 plus my 9 times 3 is going to give me 27. And then put it in a big bracket. The reason that we're putting this in a big bracket here is because this whole thing here is going to be multiplied by 2. So we need to make sure that we do everything in the bracket first, right? Because you have to remember BEDMAS when it comes to this type of stuff. So then when we add those all together, we get 2, and then don't forget your bracket again. 2 times 183, and then we multiply 2 times 183, and we get 366 inches squared, because this is going to be inch times inch, which is going to give me inch squared. Okay, so let's try our second one here before moving on. So our very first step is to find the surface area of a cylinder. So our equation would be surface area is equal to 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r times the height. And then we are going to take our known information and write it down. So I'm just going to do it up here so we can save some space. So our R radius, remember, so they've given us diameter, and again, we're gonna cut it in half. So we have 9, because our radius is always half of the diameter. So is 9, and my height is equal to 11, right? Because if you flip it this way, that would be the height. And so then we take our information and we plug it into our equation. So we have step 3 down here, and surface area is equal to 2 pi and our radius squared plus 2 pi with our radius times our height. And then if I do this in steps, so first I am going to find this portion, right? So if I get my calculator out, I can go 2 and then my pi button, bracket 9 squared, which is going to give me 508.9. But I'm just going to round it up to 509 plus, and then I'm going to do this part now, right? Because this is, again, you're doing bed mass, so our multiplication is going to come before our addition. So you guys need to be careful with that. So I would put it in, I don't know why, this should be 11. So if I put that in, I get 2 pi times 9 times 11, which is going to give me 622. So then I'm going to write 622, and then I'm going to add those together, and I get 1,131, and because this is in yards, I'm going to write yards, and it is squared. And that's my answer. So now we're going to take a look at question 2. So Dylan is building the following structure out of plastic to protect his mom's tomato plants over the winter. So how much plastic is he going to need? So when we take a look at this, we're going to need the plastic that's going to go over top of it, right? So we don't need plastic to go over the bottom, or else we're actually going to squish the plants or somehow kill them, which squishing them will kill them. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need the 4 triangles, right? So 4 triangles area-wise. That's my type of triangle needed. So our surface area is going to be, I'm gonna write this, I'll just write the equation here. So our surface area is going to be 4 times the area of a triangle. Right, so we need to find the area of one triangle, and then we just need to times it by 4, and you're going to get the total surface area. So what we're going to do is we are going to find what the surface area of the triangles are. So we're going to do base times height, right? We're going to write the equation base times height, and it's divided by 2. Okay, so remember our next step is to find the information. So we need to know our base, which our base is going to be equal to 6, because the base of the triangle is 6 yards. And our height, we already have been given here, is 12, right? Same thing here, 12. And then we're going to plug our information into our equation. So what we're going to do is we are going to take our surface area is equal to 4 times, plug our information in, so 6, I'm going to put it in brackets, 6 times 12 over 2. And what we could do is we could cross these out and put a 2 in front, right? Because 4 divided by 2 is 2. But you can also put this in your calculator as, so I would do the inside first, right? So I would do what is 6 times 12 divided by 2. So 6 times 12 is going to give me 72, and then divided by 2 is going to give me 36. So I'm going to do 4 times 36, which is going to give me 144. And it's going to be in yards squared. So then I would go and I would write, right, because with every word equation, you need to write a statement afterwards. So therefore, Dylan will need 144 yards squared of plastic. Okay, so make sure you read the questions carefully, write the equation you're going to need, write the information you are given, and then plug the information into your equation, and then write your therefore statement.